Ladies and gentlemen, hope you're doing well. Wow. Listen to this man speak on his truth about his divorce and what he realized. And I think what he's saying is going to resonate. I think it's applicable to a whole lot of men. Some just may not want to say it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let him let you know what's going on. Okay.
My ex initiated the divorce, and it's something that I don't know if I ever would have been able to do. So, in that way, I'm really grateful for her. But when we were first in that initial stage of separation, she seemed to experience bliss,
Mm.
and she felt free, like she had escaped slavery, which felt terrible. And at the time, I was still resisting the idea of divorce, and I had a lot of animosity, a lot of anger towards her for initiating the divorce. So I didn't like that she was feeling so free while I was feeling devastated,
Wow.
absolutely devastated. Looking back, I can see that her life was better when we weren't together. And I think that was at least in part because I made her life harder. I didn't make her life easier. There's a lot of the mental load that I added to her life. There was a lot of I think she almost had to manage me like I was one of the kids. But I didn't make her life easier. I thought I was doing something, really good in the world and really good for a relationship and like making money and paying for the mortgage and things like that. And she was miserable. And I think about that a lot. I've thought about that a lot over the years since my divorce. I spent a long time thinking about her part, especially in those early months. Everything was her fault in my mind. And something happened, this flip switched in my head, and then everything was my fault. And then eventually it came to this point of balance where I recognized, like, yes, a lot of things were my fault, but not everything. Some things were on her, and I feel like...
Okay, so let's go back. Did you notice what he said? So he was paying the bills. Okay, he used to breadwinner paying the mortgage, and he thought he was doing something good for the world. I don't understand how you thought that because you're doing what's expected. Did you not live there too? Did you not have what, a family? So how do you think you're doing something good for the world? You want a pat on the back because you paid the mortgage. Oh my gosh, you provided home and shelter for yourself, for your wife and your kids. Who else is supposed to do that? It, it blows my mind how they want some type of, oh, you're doing great, exceptional, you're doing what's normal. Did he expect to have a wife and kids and somebody else to pay the mortgage, the taxpayers? I mean, seriously, I I thought I was doing. You thought, what do you want, a cookie? You provided housing for a family that you created. Wow, for a wife and your family, and unbelievable. But notice what he said initially. I found this very interesting about his wife when he said about how she felt free. Listen to what he says. It's very interesting. Here we go.
My ex initiated the divorce, and it's something that I don't know if I ever would have been able to do. So in that way, I'm really grateful for her. But when we were first in that initial stage of separation, she seemed to experience bliss, and she felt free, like she had escaped slavery.
So he said in the initial part of the divorce, the separation, rather, initial part, she felt bliss as if she had escaped slavery. Let me guess. Because you paid the mortgage, maybe you're a macho man. Sounds like to me might have been some financial abuse, emotional abuse, possibly. Let me guess. He might have played macho man. I hold the purse strings. I make the decisions. And she probably had to play along. That's what it's giving. Oh, it's giving that he's got to run the show. You got to play along and you got to go. And look, she chose door B. She didn't choose A, stay. She chose door B, go.
So in that way, I'm really grateful for her.
Because she initiated the divorce.
But when we were first in that initial stage of separation, she seemed to experience bliss. Wow. And she felt free, like she had escaped slavery.
And she felt that bliss because you know what? It sounds like, what's that saying they have? Walking on eggshells. Kind of what? Kind of walk on eggshells. Don't want to make it mad. She could finally probably breathe. Let me guess. Maybe, could be wrong, but maybe she could, oh, let's see how they say, be yourself. Slavery, one person has to be the dominant one. Force of debt, threat, let me guess. In this case, force of housing, ability to eat. There's no 50-50. It's do as I say. So the fact that she felt bliss at the initial separation, and how did that make him feel?
Which felt terrible. And at the time, I was still resisting the idea of divorce.
So hold on. The idea of her feeling bliss to him felt terrible?
Stage of separation, she seemed to experience bliss. And she felt free, like she had escaped slavery. Which felt terrible. And
so the fact that she felt like she escaped slavery and she felt bliss, he said it felt terrible. Why would that feel terrible? I don't get it. Why would her feeling bliss feel terrible? Because let me guess, that's what you want. You want her to feel bad. He probably, that lets me know, in that marriage, he had to have known that the way things were operating under his thumb, because he pays the mortgage, okay? So she clearly, it sounds like to me, maybe she didn't work. But he was probably obviously the breadwinner. But the fact that she left, she felt bliss like she escaped slavery, and then he says, which felt terrible. So maybe he was happy in that marriage being dominant, seeing her hurting. Why would that make you feel terrible that the woman's feeling bliss? See, sometimes, said before, said again, the fact that women are there, they want somebody to subjugate. I run the show. No matter what goes on in the outside world, I run this. Just do as I say or you can go. And that's exactly what she did. She's like, A is stay, B is go. She chose door B. So it makes me wonder if it wasn't working out and she felt like she wasn't happy, and then she leaves and she feels experienced bliss. Why would you say it felt terrible? Because that's what he wanted. That's my summation. That's what he wanted. He wanted her to feel terrible. The subjugation, seeing her unhappiness, was probably validating him as a man. But let's continue.
At the time, I was still resisting the idea of divorce, and I had a lot of animosity, a lot of anger towards her for initiating the divorce.
So what is why if it's not working out? He felt anger for her initiating the divorce. Why? It lets me know he was happy with the way things are going. And sometimes, believe it or not, seeing that a woman is unhappy actually makes the man happy. It's a true reality. And then for you to file for divorce, it's not working for you. It's working for me. I like seeing you miserable. That's a painful reality in a lot of relationships.
Like that she was feeling so free while I was feeling devastated, absolutely devastated. Looking back, I can see that her life was better when we weren't together.
Wow.
And I think that was at least in part because I made her life harder. I didn't make her life easier. There's a lot of the mental load that I added to her life.
So he just admitted, looking back, her life was better. It didn't make her life any easier. It was better when they weren't together, in that he added a lot of mental load. So she has to process all of this. He didn't make her life easier. He didn't make it better. She was better off. And see, now he's had time to think about it. Now he's got time to think about it. Really and truly.
I didn't make her life easier. There's a lot of
So you obviously clearly made it harder.
Looking back, I can see that her life was better when we weren't together. And I think that was at least in part because I made her life harder. I didn't make her life easier. There's a lot of the mental load that I added to her life. There was a lot of I think she almost had to manage me like I was one of the kids.
So she's had to manage him like he's one of the kids. I heard a woman who used to work with, she was like, she had to take a break from their marriage. And she was like, at that time, they just had one child. One child. And she was like, it's like having two kids. I have no help. It's like having two kids. So now, when she's gone, and that's the thing about it, I don't have any sympathy for these men because they only seem, some people don't get the message while you're there. The person has to like physically leave and abandon them, like gone. Then they're like, oh, I see. I didn't make her life was better when we weren't together. Yeah, she saw that too, and that's why she went back to her life without you. That's why she initiated the divorce. She saw it too and decided to go ahead and live without you. Why? Because her life was better. But why does it take them to actually see it when a person is gone? That's how you know it's not genuine. It's called, oh, now you're alone. You don't have a choice maybe but to accept the facts, the reality. Why couldn't you see this when you all were together to try to work things out? No, because probably seeing her unhappy, which may sound obtuse, but it is the truth for many men. Yes, it may sound rather obtuse, but it's the truth. Seeing her unhappy is making them feel a whole lot better, and that tells you a lot about a person's character or the lack thereof. He did not make her life easier. He admitted he added onto her mentally. It's like taking what care of another kid. This is crazy.
I made her life harder. I didn't make her life easier. There's a lot of the mental load that I added to her life. There was a lot of I think she almost had to manage me like I was one of the kids.
And she got tired of it, and she managed her way on up out of there. And what did he say? Just doing the separation, she seemed to experience bliss. And he didn't like that. He was like, well, you don't hear, oh, I'm glad that she was happy. Again, ladies, I keep saying be selfish because the men already are. What about you? Not, well, you know what? She's a mother of my kids and I love her. It just didn't work out. And this is what makes her happy. So I'm happy to, no, no, no. That felt terrible. It speaks volumes. And then when you see one of the pick-me's of thirsty women, it's like I told, it was like one of my homegirls. This lady was dating her brother. And when she met the family, she was like, people were just kind of quiet and looking at her. And she went on that, imaginary thing. Let me guess, they're all jealous of you. Of course they are. Yeah, they're all just jealous of me when you show. Of course, yeah, they're jealous of you because yeah, you're attractive, well put together. They're jealous of you. No, they're not jealous. They're standing there looking at you and kind of quiet because guess what? They know him. They know him. They know what happened with his divorce, and they're probably at you wondering, wow, she has no idea what she's walking into. They're not jealous of you. Some people are so quick. Everybody jealous of me? No, they're not. You have no idea what you're walking into. And what they're probably thinking is, uh-oh, good luck. Why? You're gonna need it because wow, he's a hot stinking mess. His family is looking at me. Uh-huh. They were kind of quiet, yeah, because they know you might end up being the next victim. They know what he's all about. Again, it's like, wow, this is her brother. You might have met him a couple of weeks ago. No, don't even think, feeling like you're a prize and they're looking at you all quiet. No, they know how he gets when things don't go his way. And they're probably wondering, wow, how long is she going to last? She looks well put together. Let's see how this is going to turn out because they know how he operates. Dirty, sneaking, trifling, untrustworthy. Count on his word. Oh, good luck with that. So yeah, this right here, a lot of men have to experience this. I don't know why after the woman leaves, and I have no sympathy. This isn't the oh get back with him card. No, this is the justifying why she left card. He didn't make life any easier. He made it harder, unloading on her mentally. The initial separation, she experienced bliss. He said in his own words, like she had escaped slavery. She probably was. Because everything was all about you. You holding the purse strings, got to do what you say. She can't be herself. And it's sad to say there are a lot of marriages like that where these women are smiling for the camera, for the picture, and cannot be themselves. I kid you not. Anyway, let me know, what do you all think about this? While the truth indeed comes out, I just feel for the next woman who meets him and so desperately he puts the smile on and she wants a man so bad, thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be a do over. Actions speak louder than words, and people are who they are. And that's just facts. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share them out.